Okay guys, so I'm going to take you through everything that was on this quiz, try to make it so that you feel more and more comfortable with this. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns through a mind. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first things first, we have negative exponents here, all numbers that are not like bases. We cannot combine these because they don't have the same base. The first thing I'm going to do is put a 1 underneath it. I'm going to draw my new fraction bar. They're both going to need to move to the opposite side. It's going to become 5 to the first, which we just write as 5. Times 3 to the second. From there we need a placeholder of 1 because we don't have anything left on the top. Because of that, then we just take and type this on the calculator. That would be 1 over, when we type this, it would be 5 times 3 power button 2 equals, which would put us at 1 over 45. For the second one, first thing we do when we have like bases, and we're multiplying them, we add their exponents. So that's going to make it x to the negative 4 and positive 6 would give us x to the second. There's nothing more to do because it's a positive exponent. We don't need to move anything, so we just go on. For the next one, we've got numbers to multiply out in front. That's 4 times 5. That's just regular multiplication, which is 20. We take that x that's there, and we, since they are like bases, we add their exponents. 3 and 12 would give us a total of x to the 15th. So that would be 20 x to the 15th. All right, let's get the next row. So for that next row, we're multiplying. Let's start with the like bases. The x's need to be multiplied together. There's a 4 here and a 1 here. 4 and 1 add together to give you x to the 5th. For the y's, that's going to be 4 and negative 7, which is going to give you y to the negative 3rd. You can't have a negative exponent in your answer, so you draw a fraction bar, you put a 1. You start by drawing your fraction bar. The x alphabetically comes first. We start with it. It is a positive exponent, so it's going to stay on top. The y needs to move to the bottom. When you move it to the bottom, it goes from a negative 3 to a positive 3. You know you're done because there's no like bases and you have no negative exponents. So it's going to be x to the 5th over y to the 3rd. For the next one, guys, the y to the 0 is like multiplying by 1. It's like canceling that out. Then we just need to deal with these two. These are like bases. We're going to add those up. That's going to be 1/5 plus 7/10 on your calculator. It will do the math for you. 1/5 plus 7/10 is going to give you 9/10. There's nothing else to do. It's a positive exponent. It is a fraction, but it is a positive exponent, so there's nothing else to do to that. Now on this one, we have a 7 to the 3rd and a 4 that needs to be multiplied. You're going to have to type that out on your calculator. So it's going to be 7 power button 3 times 4 equals. It's a very large number. It's 1,372, and that x to the 3rd just goes on the end. So 1,372 x to the 3rd. Okay, for that next line, this has no like bases, so we start by putting a 1 underneath because we've got negative exponents that we need to get rid of. Alphabetically, x comes first. We would move it to the bottom, make it x to the 3rd. The y would be y to the 4th. At that point, since there's no negative exponents, you'd be done. Y to the 4th over x to the 3rd. Okay, on this next one, we've got some negative exponents, so we'll draw a new fraction bar. That f to the 0 is going to cancel it out. It's like multiplying by 1, which does not change the value at all. And then we go alphabetically. That a to the negative 3 is going to move to the bottom to become a to the 3rd. The b has already got a positive exponent. It's b to the 1st. And that e is going to be on the bottom. It needs to move to the top and become e to the 5th. For that next one, you're going to be multiplying the numbers out in front, so 3 times 4 is just going to put you at regular old 12. You've been doing that multiplication for a long time. For these like bases of x, you're going to add their exponents. You're going to use your calculator and do 3/4 plus 4. You will have to hit that second fraction button because it is an improper fraction, but it's going to give you 19 over 4. So it'd be 12x to the 19 over 4. Okay, for this last row on the front, you're going to multiply these numbers like always. 2 times 3 is going to be 6. The x is going to go right here for your like base, and then we're going to add your exponents. 1/5 plus 2/5 is just going to be 3/5. That'd be 6x to the 3/5. And you're done because it's a positive exponent. No separate like bases, nothing. It's done. For this next one, we're going to multiply the numbers out in front. 6 times 3 is 18. We're going to add the exponents on the x's. So 6 here, 1 here. That's going to give us a total of x to the 7th. For the y's, that's going to be 2 plus 8, which is going to be y to the 10th. So 18, x to the 7th, y to the 10th. For the numbers over here, -4 and 3, multiply to give you -12. The x's, this is going to have an exponent of 1 and 5. That's going to be a total of 6 when you add those exponents. For the y's, when you add their exponents, 2 and 3 add up to a total of y to the 5th. So it's going to be -12, x to the 6th, y to the 5th. Okay, on the back side, let's see. So this is a matter of typing in the calculator. Let's remind you how to do this. In this case, I'll go through one and then we'll just go through these. So to type this out, it would be 64, power button, which is that y to the x, and then 1, fraction button, 3, and then equals. Okay, 64, power button, 1, fraction button, 3, equals. That should give you an answer of 4. Then you'll repeat that process for all of these. For number 14, it's going to give you an answer of 125. For number 15, that's going to give you an answer of 8. For number 16, it's going to be 3. For 17, it's going to be 9. And for 18, it's going to be 16. So for our last one right here, for this last one, you're going to be going through and dealing with the area of a triangle, which is area equals 1/2 base times height. This is going to be the area of a rectangle, which is base times height. So this is going to be area equals 1/2 times 6a to the 3rd times 3a to the 4th b. Now I'm going to multiply my numbers out in front. I'm going to multiply these two first. So it's going to be half of 6 would be 3a to the 3rd times 3a to the 4th b. So I multiply my numbers in front. That's going to be 9. A to the, I've got to add these exponents. So 3 and 4 gives me a total of a to the 7th. And then the b just goes on the end. There's no other variable to combine with it. So it's just 9, a to the 7th, b. For this one, it's just going to be area equals length times, base times height. You can also call it length times width. We tend to call it length and width in a rectangle, so let me go ahead and change that out. Y'all tend to like that better. So length is going to be 7a, b to the 3rd, c to the 2nd. This one's going to be 4a to the 3rd, c to the 4th. So we're going to multiply the numbers in front. 7 and 4 is going to give you 28. For the a's, we're going to add the exponent. The exponent here is a 1 and a 3. 1 and 3 go together to give you a to the 4th. The b's, there's only one b here. It's b to the 3rd. There's nothing to combine it with over here. For the c's, you combine that 2 and that 4. When you add those, it's going to be c to the 6th. So your area here is going to be 28, a to the 4th, b to the 3rd, and c to the 6th. Okay, guys. Hopefully that lets you see what things you need to improve on before you get to the actual test. Give you all the corrections that you need. Go ahead and make those corrections, and I will see you next time.